on my way home, yeah.
Welcome to What Happened to the World Today. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott, and this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show.
We're going to talk about what we have noticed is going on in the world. So what have you noticed, Scott? Anything?
Well, the biggest thing is, because I do have a couple of my employees that are firemen and stuff like that, so that big 9/11 anniversary today, 16th anniversary, that's pretty big.
It is pretty big. One of the things that has come up in the news, though, is the kids that were born during the time of 9/11 have kind of forgotten about it. I mean, it is a 16th anniversary, and people just don't remember. People who are involved in it have stories and are involved in it, but other than that, not a lot of people really remember it, which is kind of strange for me.
I think it's because of the 24/7 news media is bringing up the new stuff so fast, people forget the old stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, we are inundated with news. We got news channels and news on the news, and I don't like watching news because it's mostly bad news. So,
I agree.
so if I want to be depressed, I'll read a sad book. But yeah, I have a story about that. When 9/11 happened, I was living in San Jose, and my wife's cousin, um, who she was named after, well, her husband works at the World Trade Center, daughter works at the World Trade Center, and son works at the World Trade Center. The son was in one of the outer buildings at a meeting. The father was actually in the World Trade Center. I don't remember which tower. And then the daughter was actually out of the office coming back, and they were still able to call dad and say, "Dad, you need to get out because something's going on." He said, "No, no." They said, "Stay here." They said, "No, no, you need to get out." And after the towers went down, all the cell service went down too. So there was no way to let anybody know that they were okay till afterwards, and they literally walked from the World Trade Center site across the bridge into New Jersey. So pretty interesting day, and a part that I was part of. But I have connections to all kinds of weird stuff like that. Do you remember when the Bellagio in Las Vegas went dark? It blacked out.
Right.
The lights went off. They blew a circuit in the sub basement in one of the vaults, and I was across the street, and I walk out of the casino out on Las Vegas Boulevard, and I look and I'm like, something's wrong. I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized that the Bellagio lights were off, and no, I couldn't figure out how to get in there and get chips. So
Yeah.
so that didn't work for me.
No. Well, the worst part is with all the lighting that's in Las Vegas, I'm sure it should have stuck out like a sore thumb.
Oh, it did. It was just this empty hole there, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And speaking of lights, Thursday you were able to see the Northern Lights, or was your sky clear? Because the Northern Lights were actually visible in Delavan, Wisconsin, and Chicago.
Yes. Did not get a chance to see it. And when I was outside, it was hazy. I think it was because of the cooler temperatures.
Yep, it was nice and hazy and overcast here with the solar eclipse. So I didn't get to see the solar eclipse either. I got to see the storm.
Now,
But
solar eclipse, I did get to see.
yeah, and you had a better view of that.
Yes, we were at the 85%.
Yeah, we were at the 40%. And we were at the actually 0% because the skies were all covered with clouds, so you
Exactly.
couldn't see the sun at all. So
Well, why didn't you just take a helicopter up?
I don't have that kind of money.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, nice. Where were you on the eclipse day to say, "Hey, take a helicopter"? So not much help there, were you?
No, sorry.
Cool.
And actually, speaking of lights, I realized that. Did you see Florida from the satellite views since the hurricane? How dark it is instead of all lit up.
No, I have not. But yeah, I would imagine with all the power that's out, that must be the biggest problem right now. I'm not sure. Did they show the water? Is the water receded back, or is
No.
there still flooding going on?
Certain areas, but yeah, the problem is not only did they have the storm surge, huge 20, 30, 40 inches of rain. That's just insanity.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're at sea level already because the storm surge where my dad has a house in Naples, was supposed to be 10 to 15 feet, and they're on the ocean. So I am going to guess that if the storm surge was 10 feet, they were underwater. But
That would make sense.
they don't know because everybody evacuated. So
Yes.
there's no one to call, there's no one to check, there's no one to see what's going on. So we'll find out in a week. And then my mother-in-law and brother-in-law live in Orlando, and it was really cool. My brother-in-law works at a hotel that's a cement building, so they got a room there. They spent the night there, and that's where all the FEMA people stage and all the electrical workers stage because it's a cement hotel. It's not going to get blown over, and it's on high ground.
Exactly.
So they stayed there, but they couldn't get back to their house yet because they still got roads closed because of power outages and flooding. So we don't know what kind of damage, if anything, was done there.
And I did see a lot of people did stay at Disney World because it was one of the safer places to be.
Yeah, they were taking down the spires off the castles and that. So if anybody has any stories or any other friends that were down there in Florida, make sure you comment down below, and we'll try and get a chain going and talk about that and see, who survived, what had what. My buddy Bob lives on the opposite side of the Naples coast, so I'm not sure what town he's in, but he's got trees down because I don't know if it damaged the roof or not. But he said if you bring me over a chainsaw and some gas, because he didn't have one to cut the tree down, and that he said he'll give you a beer.
Works
So,
for me. Wait, I don't drink beer, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
It would be an expensive beer going all the way to Florida.
Right. If you could even get there. I mean, who knows what roads are closed and how long it would take, because that's the southern tip of Florida. So we'd have to drive all the way through the whole state of Florida through all the devastation. So that would be a little rough.
Bring my 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
You have a four-wheel drive pickup truck?
I certainly do. I plow snow.
Oh, that's right. You do. I don't plow snow. We
Well,
don't get
I
a
would
lot of
assume
snow.
so. You don't get it. Yeah, I was going to say. But we get 40 to 60 inches. So
Yeah, we do get snow. Last year it snowed, and there were like 10 snowflakes that actually stuck to my car.
exactly.
So I have a picture of that. So I know what it looks like, but other than that, no. So
Real smallest snowball.
now are you set up for winter? Are you ready to go back to
Not
winter?
yet. Oh, not yet. We still got 3 months before I have to worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No, November is one of those months that if I plow snow in November, it'll be an easy one.
Yeah, okay.
December, January, and February are the heavier snows.
Yeah, I miss the snow. I don't miss the shoveling, but I do miss the snow. But when I lived back in Chicago, when I lived by you, it wasn't usable snow. The snow was no fun. It would snow, then it would warm up or rain on top of the snow, so it'd be all melty and slushy and muddy and icy. So
We call it schnurt.
Is that what it's called? Dirt,
Yeah, it's
dirt.
snow and dirt. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't ski in it. It wasn't that much for snowmobiling.
No.
So we'd have to go up to the UP,
Oop.
which is the Upper Peninsula for those of you who do not know, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah, our
So-
snow is not too much better than Chicago, but obviously it's a little better, and we do have the snowmobile trails here, which is pretty decent.
Yeah. Now, do you snowmobile anymore or no?
No, I don't have time.
No, that's a bummer.
It is. I do, however, enjoy getting out of the truck while I'm plowing snow and making at least one snow angel every time I go out.
Oh, really? That's your signature? So,
It kind of, sort of.
so you'll have to bring us pictures, and we'll post them up along with the cast.
There we
the
go.
Video cast, so we can have that. Should we?
Here we
talk-
are in September talking about snow.
It's about snow,
Stop
yeah.
this. Yeah, let's change
Well,
subject.
as I said, these were bad life decisions that got us here. So
That's right.
let's talk about pets. In case Scott gets distracted, he has a bunny in his office that roams the whole. Now that's a second floor office, right?
That is correct.
All right. So
Although he
paint-
does go down the stairs into the vestibule downstairs.
Oh, so you don't have a gate at the stairs. So you've got
Nope.
it's pretty much an open floor plan for your second
Yes,
floor. Let's
correct.
paint a little picture here. So it's an open floor plan. You got desks up there
Yes. And
computers.
chairs. Yeah, well, it's obviously all the computers are on the desks, and of course I've got display units and stuff like that. It's supposed to be an office for my wedding consulting and event planning business.
Okay. So And what kind of floor is it? Carpet, hardwood?
It's all barnwood. Everything up here is custom barnwood material, reclaimed wood.
Nice. So now, how did you get this bunny?
At the property for the party bus business, where the buses are stored, we were out there doing some work out there, and this bunny came right up to us and literally came up to our leg and sniffed our foot and asked to be petted. It's a lion's head. It's definitely not a wild rabbit. Somebody either dumped it or one of the houses got foreclosed. Farmhouses got foreclosed down the street about a quarter mile away, and it could have come from there.
Okay.
It never would have survived.
So now, I don't know anything about bunnies. About how old do you think the bunny is?
Probably 2. When we first got him, he was full grown but small. Now that he's in the house and eating and comfortable, he's I'm going to say he's probably 5 or 6 pounds.
All right, and how long have you had him?
It'll be a year next month.
All right, you can pick him up then.
Sometimes he has to be in the mood for it.
Well, is he in the mood now? Because I'd like to see him on camera.
Nope, he's a little skittish. He is pretty close right now.
I saw you look over, so I saw you look over and thought he was there.
Yeah, no, he's about 3 feet away from me right now. When I'm talking, he likes to sit next to me and watch. The problem is, it's one of those funny things. Sometimes you can rub his ears, and if you rub his ears, then he likes being picked up. But other times he just wants to be close by. And then if I move, he gets, he's a bunny. Everything eats bunnies. I mean, everything eats bunnies. So you move fast, they run.
Okay, I'm going to ask the dumb question. You're in Wisconsin. There's a lot of cows. Do cows eat bunnies?
All right. I suppose everything is the incorrect term.
I know you have coyotes. I know that there's wild dogs that like to chase them because that's what dogs do. They chase things that run. So
Cats
you got dogs,
eat 'em.
Coyotes, cats.
Eagles, hawks.
You got all the birds up there.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if, cows might step on them. I don't know. Cows and horses are the only two I could think of that maybe the bunny could survive with.
As you probably can imagine, bunnies have their eyeballs on the side of the head, which means everything wants to eat them, so they run away. I'm using the word everything because it's just one of those things.
Well, there was a rule. There was a rule of that, right? Predators have their eyes
in the front of their head.
In the front.
And prey has their eyes on the side.
Yeah.
That's why we're not supposed to be vegetarians. Sorry, vegetarians.
But we don't have claws to rip the meat apart. So that's the whole debate, right? If we're not supposed to be vegetarians, then how come we don't have claws or fangs? Are you saying that over time?
Technically we have incisors, which are for ripping meat. Okay. And also technically, if we weren't quote unquote civilized, our nails would be longer and stronger, and we obviously can use our nails for stuff like that.
Okay. So now we've just alienated all the vegetarians.
Well, not really, because that's just a personal choice.
Okay. Well, I do eat meat, but I also eat a lot of vegetarian stuff. I love my hummus. What other vegetarian dish do I like? I like tofu. Hey, tofu cooked right is really good.
Every once in a while, I hear that old saying, real men don't eat tofu. And then I just wait a minute. Real men eat whatever they want, but we won't go there, man.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. So I think we've done a really good job on our first show of rambling.
Yes,
I don't know if we've actually covered any topics or solved anything that's happened in the world this week, but I think this is a pretty good start. So this will be the end of our first show. I want to thank you for watching.
And if you feel our show was not a bad life decision,
then please subscribe, like, and watch our other videos. And we also have some other channels. I have What Happened to the World Today, which is reviews on stuff in Las Vegas. And Scott, what is your channel?
Well, it's under Scott Thomas or Fun Guy the Entertainer.
All right. Well, thanks very much, and we will see you soon.
Have a good one.
Baby crazy, and what you still amaze me.